Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers until the end of the year, so help me out there and let's go guys. So we are flying out the new J-8F, the new version of the FINBACK or the J-8. So very cool aircraft, and to be honest there is some minor things that it's kind of like it's kind of sad, to be honest, that I'm going to mention, but overall, man, it is a very interesting aircraft. So let's talk about the differences between it and the B variant. If you have the B variant, it will feel very much like the same aircraft. There is primarily 4 changes to it. First of all, the engines way more powerful, not like a major, like, oh my god, it's so much power, but the addition of the extra power together with having 2 engines makes it up for being kind of an old design, you know, or an older kind of design philosophy, to be honest. It accelerates better than a lot of the 4th generations with these 2 engines, even with full tanks at the start of the match, for example. So it is indeed a very good aircraft in that regard, you know, power to weight. And together with the delta wing, which makes it turn very well, but having the extra power, you know, makes it up for a very good dogfighter. So yeah, very good aircraft. The second change was the radar. It's not really useful, but it is indeed a very good, a medium radar, I would say. It's kind of weird, actually. The thing is that I really thought, it is really hard to find information about this aircraft in general, but I really thought that he used a Chinese radar, the 1492, for example, which used apparently technology from the Zhuk radar for the Soviets and some other technology from other nations, like the Israelis with the Altas and stuff, and they made basically their own radar with the 1492. But in the game right now, it is using the APG-66, which is very odd. I mean, it's kind of confusing. So I don't know if this is correct or not. Really hard to find information, as I said. I don't think this is the version that used the APG-66, but I mean, I guess in the game it uses, so there's not much we can do anyway. So yeah, the APG-66 is a very good radar, but it is limited in its own aspect, you know. It's a very simple radar, very small and light radar, so it doesn't have a lot of range, but it is enough, you know. And it doesn't have any high PRF modes, TWS, anything like that, because these are one of the earlier versions of the APG-66, but it is the same radar as the normal F-16 Block 10, for example, and of the ADFs. So yeah, basically the same radar, right? The third change is the actual missiles. Obviously, guys, the missiles are the big talk about this aircraft, right? Instead of using the PL-5, it actually uses the PL-8, which is a Python 3, a Israeli missile that was added in this patch. Very good missile. I mean, this might be a little bit, you know, arguable, you know, but it is probably the best missile in the game, IR. You know, 40 Gs, very good power to weight, turns very well, accelerates very well, it has a very good range. So overall, it's a very good missile, and you have 6 of them. The bad part is that they actually removed the PL-11 or the Aspide missile that the normal J-8B has, making it a little bit more underwhelming in that regard, you know, because it doesn't have a BVR. But the PL-8s are such a good missile that it kind of doesn't, I mean, it would be good because it would be another tool that you would have in your toolbox, but still, having 6 PL-8s is amazing, you know. And even if the PL-11 were to be added, I think a lot of players would just use the PL-8 as the main armament of the aircraft, no matter what, right? I mean, look at this shot. 2 kilometers, he's way faster than me, for example, but the missile still gets in. You know, you don't see like R60s doing this. I don't think even the MatAWG can do this. The M9L probably does it, but it was the only missile that could do that, together with having more turn than M9L, right? So it's a very good missile. And the fourth and final thing is the addition of an HMS, or a helmet mounted sight. This, together with the PL-8, makes it up for being a very easy aircraft to do IR attacks and just basically use the missiles fairly well, right? So you can get a very, very good lock using the mouse aim to actually just aim to the sides and stuff and get the proper lock. And there is a fifth one, a minor one, if you will, that I didn't mention too much, but yeah, it has a little bit of finesse in the wings, a little bit more, you know. It has more, a more designed wing fences and stuff in the wings, so just overall better aerodynamics. But it's very, I mean, just very tiny changes, right? So yeah, but yeah, guys, the overall performance of this aircraft is pretty good. Don't expect this thing to be like a top dog or anything like that, because it just lacks some of the fourth generation stuff that you would see in an F-14, a MiG-29, and even the F-16 and other aircraft, you know. So for example, the BVR, the very good BVR, the very good Raiders, you know, even the very good aerodynamics of the aircraft. Even though, yes, it is better, it's still kind of another design, you know, it's a third generation kind of design still. So just have that in mind. But having that in mind, it is still one of the best aircraft out there at 11.7. It really is an amazing aircraft. It has incredible missiles with very good ranges, and overall you can get a lot of kills with the missiles. And the Raiders and all these problems that it has, they're doable, you know, you can deal with them. The problem, the main thing is that you have three like things that kind of support this aircraft to be very competitive: the power to weight and the turning capability, so the performance, you know, together, these two things, and the missiles, you know. These three things really make the aircraft be very competitive even against the most modern fourth generation aircraft. And you can outturn even F-14s and other aircraft if you know what you're doing, because you have the power together with the Delta Wing. You know, it's a very light aircraft, even though it's quite even big, to be honest, because I mean it has two engines. It's a very long aircraft, but even with that, it is a very, you know, powerful aircraft. It really is light and very powerful. So that's what the J-8F is basically, right? It's an aircraft that can support your team very well. I don't think it's an aircraft that you would be able to like do the clutch if you need to, like you are against 5 aircraft. It's not an aircraft that would support you to do that. You kind of are dependent a little bit on the team, just because you don't have the tools to actually have all sorts of combat scenarios covered. You know, as I said, the BVR is a main one that you can get a lot of people with to actually do a clutch or something like that, right? So, but even with that, I mean, it's just a very fun aircraft. If you already loved the J-8B, which a lot of people do already, because it is indeed a very good aircraft, the J-8F is just more of that, you know. It's more fun, faster, better missiles, and I cannot wait until this thing actually receives maybe the proper radar. I don't know if this radar is the right one, but mainly the missile, the PL-12, right? So yeah, and as you saw there, right there, that kill, you will get a lot of kills. I'm not saying that you will get kills from like 7 kilometers or 10 kilometers from people getting away from you in a cold aspect, but 2 to 3 kilometers, it's very easy to get kills. And the IRCCM, it is pretty good. Apparently, the files, I have to check this out more, you know, but apparently it's using the same code of IRCCM as the A9L, R60M, and a Magic Tour. So it should be very similar to that with a different FOV, right? So yeah, as you see, depending on the aspect of the target and if the target knows what he's doing, it will be easy to decoy a missile such as this. But it is just kind of like putting, I mean, you still have 6 missiles. So even if you miss a couple of them, you still have a lot of missiles to fire. So yeah, very good, guys. And I cannot wait to see what this aircraft will look like in the future, as I was saying. I mean, PL-12s, Fox 3 missiles and stuff, it will be a very fun aircraft. Because it's just a kind of a third generation, but very modern. I mean, it entered service, what, in 2003 or something? So, oh my god, like, it really is an interesting aircraft. So, it is fun, has its limitations, but it is one of the coolest aircraft that were added in this patch. And yeah, guys, Anyway, you are going to fight a lot of 4th generation, so be careful out there if you're going to get this, but it is indeed worth to get it, okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. So, bye guys. See you.